guys, it's Tuesday morning on the Lovin Dubai Show podcast. We spoke about an amazing scenic makeover that's happening, how Al Warqaa traffic is getting reduced, and the GOAT Cristiano Ronaldo is in Dubai. Also, would you leave an Airbnb apartment in a mess?
And of course, if you have missed the episode or stuck in traffic, you can subscribe to the Lovin Dubai Show podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, and enjoy.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai Show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story today: Saih Al Salam scenic route is getting a major makeover.
As well, 80% faster travel time on popular Al Warqaa road.
Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT, has touched down in Dubai and he's playing today.
As well, Airbnb hosts events after Dubai apartment is left in a mess.
How GITEX impacts investors in Dubai with Decisive on its Tuesday, so we're going to get the lowdown on that.
And in today's rapid weather report, it's highs of 36 degrees with humidity at 84%. There's heavy fog warning over much of the country this morning, so please drive carefully. And as well, heed to warnings from the NCM. Drive at a safe distance from the car in front of you. Do not turn on your hazard lights. Stick to your lane. The fog is expected to lift at 9 a.m.
So drive carefully. Am I Ohio?
Can you tell me what Ohio is?
I
want to know what Ohio is. I want to know what Ohio is. I am Gen Z and I thought I am young. But now you're telling me Gen Alpha have their own
I just saw this great conversation and it was like my 15-year-old daughter Ariana would like an injunction against her mom using Gen Alpha slang. So Gen Alpha slang, so we've moved on from Gen Z, consists of words like Ohio, skibbity toilet, Sigma.
What does skibbity
mogging
mean?
I might have made that one up, but I'm not sure. Mewing.
But what do they mean? I mean, I don't want to accept that. I thought I'm like young. Now there's another generation.
I think first of all I need to figure out what age is Gen Alpha, because I really like, so Gen Alpha is 2010 to 2024. So what age are you if you're born in 2010?
So Gen Alpha is from 20.
So you're 20. Oh, that's not that young.
How old?
So if you're born in 2010 and it's now 2024, so you're 14 at the oldest Gen Alpha. So like the 14-year-olds, if you've got a 14 in your home, are they using words like skibbity toilet? And telling you, if your 14-year-old says you're Ohio, they're basically saying you're cringe.
Oh my God.
I'm cringe, but I'm okay with it because I'm...
I mean, yeah, but like...
It's the Gen Zs.
I mean, I am not... Literally, like Gen Zs, I don't think Gen Zs are going to be taking that lightly or in like a very easy way, because like that means that we're only growing up. And that is a conversation that I see on TikTok all the time. Oh my God, the younger generation are actually... They are there and they don't like us. And they don't. They call us old. They call us old.
No,
They call Gen Z old.
Can you please speak to all of Gen Z? And just like, there doesn't need to be a us versus them. So your opinion that everyone under the old age of 14 thinks that your specific generation is old, I don't think it's true. And if that's the trend on TikTok, just tell all of you that, that we don't need generational gaps. We don't need to point fingers.
I agree with you. Look, I know I was a very proud Gen Z, but let's all live together in peace. That's all.
There we go.
Yeah, let's all love each other.
No skibbity toilets here. We've got Riz.
No Ohio. Oh, I know what Riz is.
Yeah.
I know what Riz is. So I'm cool.
What's Riz?
Riz is like if someone has like a game to get a girl or get a guy. It's like, oh, like my cousin, he was like, Farah, you don't have riz. I was like, what? What do you mean like riz? And in Arabic, riz means like rice. And I was like, what? It's like, okay, you don't have riz.
Does Farah have riz? I don't have riz. It's okay. It's okay. We've got athletic abilities. Let's move on. Now you know the lowdown on Gel Alpha slang. You heard it here first. Top story today.
Well, 80% travel time on popular Al Warqaa route has been announced, so significant changes are coming to Al Warqaa area that promise to transform travel times dramatically. Now, the upcoming improvements will introduce additional entrance and exit points directly from Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. And this enhancement is set to reduce travel time to just 3.5 minutes, a remarkable decrease of 80%.
Music to your ears if you navigate through this area, because currently navigating through Al Warqaa can be extremely time consuming, but with these new access points, getting in and out of the area is about to be a lot more efficient. How amazing. The project is expected to be completed within a year, bringing much needed relief to local drivers.
And as well, this initiative is part of Dubai's ongoing efforts to improve infrastructure and ease traffic congestion, ensuring smoother commutes for everyone. I love that, because if I know one thing, Casey, I was a victim of being stuck in traffic. I was a victim of that. And being stuck in traffic, I kid you not, wears down on your mental health from all aspects. You know, the anxiety, the planning ahead, the overthinking, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, I don't know if I've been a victim. I've been quite lucky in that where I live is so close. So I can empathize, but I just know that the days that, like, you know, some of the routes that I take home sometimes, what should be a 15-minute journey becomes an hour journey. So although I'm not 2 hours from here to Sharjah every morning, the people that do come into our office are in that. I'm just like, how do you do it? You're amazing. But it's when those routes that it's just one road, and for some reason it's like it just inches, and then there's a day that there's an accident, and you're like, did I really just sit in an hour and 15-minute traffic for 15 minutes? So that's fun.
But like, what would you do on the road if you are stuck in traffic?
I re-listen to the Lovin podcast.
Really? Wow.
All the time, on repeat. It's my favorite thing to do. What do you do?
Well, you guys, if you know what cases are there, you just need to download the podcast at this point.
What do you do?
Well, I do listen to music, but then I get really frustrated to the point where I don't even feel like listening to anything or anyone talk. But I do listen to music.
Actually, I love a podcast. So any podcast, and it depends on the mood. So like, it could either be a funny, jokey one, or it could be, if I want to really concentrate, it could be like a serious one. I like podcasts. I mean, I like the time that I have to listen to them.
I mean, the thing is,
I do voice notes.
Because like, you know, when I am like stuck in traffic, I cannot listen to a podcast actively, and if I don't listen to a podcast actively, that would really frustrate me. So I tend to like listen to music to just like let the time pass by.
Chill. Very, extremely zen.
That's true.
You should light candles and incense. Let's jump into a place that we would like to get stuck in traffic to get there, because it sounds absolutely unbelievable. Once again, Dubai.
100%. Well, Saih Al Salam Scenic route to get major makeover. Now, in a significant move for Dubai's development, His Highness Prince Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, alongside the High Committee of Urban Planning, has approved an extensive master plan for the Saih Al Salam Scenic route. Now, this initiative is set to transform Dubai's countryside into a vibrant landscape, incorporating a variety of facilities, activities, and event venues, which is a major feature of this plan. It is the expansion of the cycling track, which is going to be about 79 kilometers, extending to a total of 157 kilometers.
Wow, massive. The project will introduce 5 distinct tourist destinations along the scenic route. So get to learn these names. There'll be the Wildlife Station near Flamingo Lake, featuring hot air balloon rides, luxury camping, elevated hiking trails and kayak tours. Then you'll have the main centre station, which will be close to Al Qudra Lakes. This station will include a marketplace, open-air cinema and wellness camps. How amazing. Then the Adventure Station, located near Lake Expo, will host an adventure park, sandy trails for various sports camps and restaurants.
It will also include Cultural Experience Station, which is situated near Camel Farm, offering camel rides, a heritage majlis, and as well an entertainment theatre, sandy sports, motorbiking, desert safaris, desert adventure, and the list goes on and on. I mean, this destination will provide activities like dune climbing, sand skiing, sandboarding, and accelerating desert safaris.
These developments are part of the broader Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan, which aims to boost visitor numbers by an impressive 600% by 2040.
Well, over the next 5 years, a total of 37 projects backed by 390 million dirhams in funding as it seeks to enhance the overall quality of life and well-being for residents and visitors alike. Of course, I mean, I love that because they are creating like that countryside experience for people who prefer country.
So true.
Are you more for countryside or a city girl?
I think country.
Really?
Yeah, and you're not.
I mean, the thing is, I'm very moody. I'm very moody because like one day I'll wake up and I'll be like, you know what? I want to be a countryside girl.
Oh, you have different moods. Okay, got you.
And then I'll be like, oh no, I love the city.
I'm the same. I think I love the idea of apartment in the city. No, but really, I think I veer towards country because even like if I could live anywhere in Dubai, it would be kind of like Springs Meadows because there's so much nature there, and you nearly feel like that's actually the perfect mix because you're not too far from the city, but you're surrounded by nature. Because just like there's nothing like a fresh, crisp morning, not on a street.
I mean, okay, look, I do agree with you on that. However, my whole idea is like, if I would go and live there, I would want to like transform my whole life. You know what I mean? Like if I would want to be a countryside girl, I would want to transform. Like I would want to have a cow. I would want to make my own cheese. I would want to make my own bread. I would want to make my own everything.
Do you think country? Are you?
I don't know.
Those people on TikTok, are you one of those ladies?
I mean, yeah. I would.
What do you think? I think you've got this quite tinted lens of countryside people because I grew up deep in the countryside. I didn't have my own cow, which now I'm like, Mom, where was my cow?
I mean, come on. I mean, to be honest with you, like sometimes I sit with my sister and I tell her, you know what, my dream is to. It's not really my dream, but like sometimes I don't know, think like that. My dream is to, you know, like live in Switzerland, have a cow, make my own cheese, make my own milk, and call it a day. If I was living in Switzerland making my own cheese, like that would be life made. I'm so with you there. Let's just move there. But why would we move to Switzerland when Ronaldo has just arrived in Dubai? Yes, he did. He touched down yesterday. Cristiano Ronaldo and his Al Nassr teammates have arrived in the UAE. They're ready to face Iran's powerhouse football club Esteghlal. Originally set to take place in Iran, the Asian Champions League match was relocated to Dubai's Sheikh Rashid Stadium due to safety concerns. Well, the match kicks off tonight, but if you're hoping to snag tickets, you will need some serious contacts. Now, the only ones left on platinum list are VIP seats, which, by the way, are priced at 5,000 dirhams. It really is worth it. I mean, I love how Ronaldo had like a lot of. He was very committed to his own career. And now he has created that standard, and everyone would pay a lot
true
to see him.
He is the GOAT, but 5,000 is a lot of money. And afta.b posted this video, which I love. He's on the metro, and apparently you could see the Sheikh Rashid Stadium. So the match is at 5 p.m. tonight, okay? And I haven't fact-checked this, but he zoomed in and he said, oh yeah, you can see Ronaldo from the metro. So get yourself, if you can't afford that 5k ticket, get yourself on the metro. And if he's the GOAT, and if he is the greatest of all time, and you don't want to miss him, you can ride that metro down.
I mean, honestly,
like, why not? Or there must be a skyscraper in the area. You could just get your goggles done.
I mean, I don't know, but like, you know, like some people are really like diehard fans to Cristiano, and they would want to watch him play live, and they just like enjoy seeing him do what he does best. And honestly, like I feel like, as a fan, if you like. If they are such big fans, they would pay.
They'll pay the 5k.
I mean, I wouldn't if I'm a.
Can anyone Ronaldo fan answer? Because the thing is, it's like 5k for
a football match.
Yeah, but then it depends. Like, do they want to see this Asian Champions Cup football match, or would you fly to Saudi? Because he's in Saudi. You know, he's playing weekly. you might get it, or maybe all of his matches are that expensive because there's such massive fun.
By the way, and that's how they do it because Ronaldo's playing and they know that the value of Ronaldo is really high up, so they know that people would do anything to go and to come and see him play. So they raise the prices of the tickets.
Cheeky. Speaking of cheeky, let's move on to our next story. Airbnb host events after a Dubai apartment was left in a mess. So the video is captioned, "This is how my guests left my $1 million apartment in Dubai." So someone took to Instagram to vent after their Airbnb rental turned into a nightmare.
Well, the guests stayed for just 2 nights, but it looks like they made the most of their stay, leaving behind a mess with drink cans, tags, and trash scattered everywhere, which is not really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of divided opinion though, because Airbnbs come with a cleaning fee. So some people are like, this isn't that bad, but then other people are like, these people clearly have no ethics. The thing is with Airbnb is you have a rating. So if someone left my apartment in that way, I'd give them a 1 star, and then they would struggle to get their next place. So the rating system is really great. I've got a really good rating system on Airbnb.
Oh, guys, look at Casey. She is...
Some nice comments.
But
then you rate the person back.
Look, I know, and I know like where because like they are paying the cleaning fee, but cleaning is one thing, and tidying, like moving the thing from this position to somewhere else or putting it back in its place is something different. You know what I mean? Like you don't need. How can they? I have this like idea in my head. Like how can someone sleep in an area that is scattered and that is like messy and that is like not the cleanest and not the, you know, like it's kind of like dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm sure it wasn't dirty when they arrived, but so some people are like, look, there's a high cleaning fee for a reason, but I think we're both on the same page here that like, someone's gonna have to clean this up, and the nice thing to do, like you're not going to clean the bathrooms after you leave, but just throw your trash in the rubbish. Like, why on earth would you just leave mess everywhere? It's just a bit, it's so privileged, and like it doesn't, like the cleaning fee is for cleaning, but you can make life a little bit easier for someone. Unless you were super late and you were late for a flight.
I mean, look, sometimes some things can happen, but like, you know, if there is a cleaning fee, that's one thing, but that does not mean that, you know what, you would not take your trash and put it in the garbage.
Exactly.
Or does not mean that you can just like throw things everywhere and expect the cleaning fee to fix the whole situation, you know what I mean? And plus as well, I feel like this is what like just like speaks of the person, their character, and how they are at their own house.
It does speak of the person, but it's interesting because Victoria VGV says, honestly, it's not that bad, it could be much worse, and she's not wrong. Like, the reality is I'm seeing tags, I'm seeing perfectly lined beer cans, I'm seeing a lot of tags everywhere. They did lots of shopping and they've just left their tags everywhere. Some pot noodles, some water bottles, but like, it's not really dirty, it's just stuff everywhere. Like, they've left their toothbrush on a chair. So like, it is bad, and I would never, and no one should, but actually, when you let people into your apartment, like the type of mess that they could leave behind, like it could be really, like this is just rubbish, it's not dirty, which is worse. So,
I mean,
it could be worse.
It could be worse, but they were there, like keep in mind, like they were there for like 2 nights, you know what I mean? And it's like in 2 nights they had done that. And God knows if they stay there for like a week or 2, how could it have been? It could have been worse. It could have been really horrible, because like at this point, if like when I'm at my house, if anyone like removes something, I just like would look, you know, like, are they gonna put it back? Are they not gonna put it back? Because like when I go over at anyone's house, I tend to like, you know, remove my plate, help, because like that's how the way that you are at your own house should be. Will be, by the way, like translated outside. Yeah. And I don't care what anyone says. These are facts.
Those are the facts. Speaking of facts, It is Tuesday, which means we've got Decisive Zone back in studio with Visa Talks. Today we're talking about how GITEX impacts investors in Dubai. They'll be with us after this very short break. Do stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guests are Saih and Saih from Decisive Zone. They're back in studio. Today we're talking about the exciting developments in technology and investment that emerged from GITEX 2024. So if you've ever wondered what Web3 is all about or how Dubai is positioning itself as a tech leader on the global stage, you're in the right place. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, nice to be back again. Thanks for having us.
Big news last week. GITEX took over headlines. Let's talk about it. We've seen more interest in blockchain, AI, and Web3. How did GITEX, in your opinion, impact investors? What does that impact look like?
I mean, so when they had the investor summit as well before the actual GITEX event, right? So they had two separate events. So one was more geared towards emerging tech and sort of connecting investors potentially with startups, etc. And then obviously there was the GITEX thing where you could walk around the halls and see the sort of up and coming tech in various industries, and to a point where even for me, I'm living here for so long, and when I've seen GITEX live, they had to put up tents still outside of the halls. So there was so much new tech that was coming up, and it was just this is so much stimulation. Like I was telling you earlier, it's crazy. It was a brilliant event. Yeah.
And just so we can get a little bit of background, you mentioned new tech, there's so much focus on it, but could we deep dive in a little bit into what is Web3 for those of us who don't know? So
Web3 essentially is anything to do with, when we talk about Web2, it's like the traditional browsing, when we have, I don't want to go into too much detail, it's probably a very confusing concept, but it's like a starting point, then, detail essentially gets packaged into, a different protocol and then gets converted over on the other side. So Web3 is essentially taking out the sort of central bridge between it and connecting both points directly. So that's the reason why it's a lot faster. That's why it's called decentralized, right? So any technology that's emerging on Web3 is more often than not decentralized. So that's
I think basically, if you want to put it in layman's language, you would say it's like the new invention of internet, and it's basically built on blockchain.
Yeah, I mean that works. Yeah.
Yeah, to put it in an easy way.
And key figures coming out of GITEX, they're saying there was $1 billion raised. How would this money affect the future of blockchain and AI in Dubai?
Oh man, it's a bonkers number to even imagine. To be invested over the span of 6-7 days that it was. I mean, the GITEX and the summit and all of that. Thinking about $1 billion. I mean, according to news and sources, $1 billion being invested across tech, and just in that sort of a very niche realm is just it's going to expedite the growth process exponentially. You know what I mean? You're going to be seeing 2, 5, 10x growth in the field, and obviously that can be applied across different emerging industries as well, and also existing industries, because the science is what people that's what they're investing in, and then how you translate that science over to different industry, it's very interesting to see. I'm excited.
Yeah, true. Even I feel like if you would have attended GITEX, what you would have seen is more than 6,500 exhibitors were there, and most of them were from outside UAE. So they are potentially planning to set up their business in Dubai. So you can expect a lot of tech giants to come here in Dubai, and there would be a lot of opportunity for collaboration and fostering a lot of things. Definitely.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so you're both down there. What do you think really stood out? For example, your residents, you've both been here for a number of years. Do you think, people seeing it for the first time, what would have stood out to them if they saw GITEX for the first time?
Honestly, if you ask me, I have attended GITEX last year as well, but this time when I went there, I was surprised too. Because there were things which were similar even last year, but this year they have taken it to next level. If you talk about, there was one specific stand, they had a separate stand which was for the government bodies, you talk about Dubai Police or Abu Dhabi Police. They have made cars. If you see the cars, you would go crazy. It's future.
It's straight out of iRobot. I seen Will Smith come out of his Audi, and back then, and I was like, oh, this is never gonna happen, and I'm so excited. But I seen it in person, and I mean, what they've done, carrying on what Sally was saying. So they've taken the main hall for just exhibiting what the UAE as a nation is developing on, right? So you've got the police, you've got the tech sector, you've got the economy, the Department of Economies, and all of them. We're talking about Fujairah, Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, all the 7 Emirates posting, and showing and showcasing to the world that, this is what we have coming up. So, and apart from that, I mean, you obviously see the new, growth in gaming, you see the growth in tech, you see the growth in various other things. But this, for me personally, for me as a resident, it's really exciting to see that, I'm living in a place, and I've been living here for 31 years now. So, I grew up here, I've seen all of that. For me to see that this is what is to be expected as just a glimpse, it's really exciting for me personally.
So speaking of what's to be expected, like for those of us who didn't go to GITEX, we're not too involved in blockchain and AI. What will that look like for me? How will that impact me? I saw things like PAMs being used at metros, and how are these innovations going to impact residents of Dubai?
So I mean, like we've discussed, things like your Emirates ID, for example. Like how we discussed, they want to unify and make it one sort of, card for, one ring to hold them all, you know what I mean? So they want to make the Emirates ID to be a position where you want to go into the metro, it acts as the null card. You want to pay for something, it acts as your bank card. And then that sort of ties into, them wanting to develop blockchain, to use the tech to make it that advanced, right? So that's how it impacts. It impacts the banking sector massively, because obviously all of your transactions are more seamless, faster in nature. It impacts housing, things like, so they also exhibited a new green technology that they're working on, where they're really investing money into this in the same stand, right? So they've essentially taken the science behind blockchain and all of your records for, let's say, your areas where you live at, or an emirate, in a whole. So they've essentially made it super easy to access. So when you have to check bills, you have to pay bills, etc., it all sort of streamlines and connects into each other. So you just have to connect your UAE pass, and then bang, you get all your information in one. And it's crazy to see, man.
I love that UAE pass,
yeah.
when it connects.
Yeah.
It works for me. I'm like, ching, I'm
first
in.
refresh, you're like, I'm in, yes.
but I wonder with all these things, like there's also, I saw something about at the airport, it's going to be, they'll use like by facial recognition, so there'll be no smart gates essentially, and these things I wonder, how these will impact us as residents. Were you able to gain any insight as to how we are advancing in comparison with other countries? Like if Dubai is here, where is the rest of the world? Was there any kind of discussion on that?
I think if you would have attended GITEX, you wouldn't have asked this question, because definitely
it was crazy. I mean,
because the way they have given a clarity about what exactly Dubai would look like. And even now, if we see, I feel like we're already living in the future compared to other countries. Mm-hmm. So I think we can expect a lot more coming.
And how can local businesses get involved in the emerging Web3 ecosystem? Like, is there support available for them to thrive? Did you see that type of support at GITEX or just in general?
So, I mean, when we talk about support, it's obviously either monetary or non-monetary, right? Monetary support, like we've already seen, like they've invested, nearly $1 billion in tech and in that sort of sector. So that is obviously something that the government has available to, specific projects that sort of align with their vision. In terms of non-monetary, you could also look at the fact that, let's say DIFC, for example, if you're out of, or if you're focused as a startup, if you're focused in a specific list of businesses, so being blockchain, being development, being software, being fintech as well, they've also subsidized the licensing costs. So it's almost as much as setting up in another, like a different free zone, where you could be setting up in free zone A versus free zone B. But here you have access to DIFC, and that sort of puts you into a place where, because you're surrounded in the similar sort of environment, because there's an incubator in-house. You know what I mean? So like that sort of helps out a lot in terms of non-monetary support for startups as well. Yeah.
I want to jump quickly into licensing for crypto, because while I have you here, we may as well get that. It's always such a key topic that people want to ask about.
Yeah.
So are there updated cryptocurrency licensing frameworks in Dubai that Decisive Zone is aware of and that could help people with?
So for crypto, when we look at, there is an authority called Warqaa, and the guidelines are pretty clear about it. Compared to other countries, if you see, a lot of countries don't even recognize cryptocurrency. But when you talk about Dubai specifically, I mean UAE in general, the guidelines to set up the business is also pretty clear. So people understand what is exactly expected. So it would be easier to set up a business in Dubai rather than going for any other part of the world when we look at cryptocurrencies.
And what are the benefits, I guess, for businesses and startups to do so?
So if you're moving a crypto business out of, let's say, out of another place in the world, right? So you have access to the banking sector that's, really streamlined and still settling in with the idea of crypto. So you're essentially getting in at the low point, and then by the time it scales up and by the time regulations are sort of, in place and fully in check, you're already in the ecosystem, right? So you're used to it, you're using it, etc. That is the benefit. Obviously, your corporate tax benefits are a major, plus point, because if you're dealing in, let's say, pennies to the dollar and you're trading that volume, right? 9%. If you compared to, let's say, Eastern Europe, it's 17%, right? If you're talking about Scandinavia, you're talking about upwards of 55%. So even if you're saving, you know what I mean? Like, you're still paying 9%, but when you look at the flip side, you're saving about 46% in terms of, the pennies that you're earning per trade. So when that sort of adds up, it's a snowball effect, right? So personally speaking, the infrastructure that Dubai has built and, things of that nature, that's obviously a plus. But in real business terms, I feel like this is a very, it's a big, huge plus point.
100% agree with you. And before you leave us, for both of you who are at GITEX with Decisive Zone, what were your key takeaways from the event?
You want to go first? To be very honest, it sort of shows you the demand and the sort of buzz that Dubai as a nation, right, or UAE as a nation has created around the world. Because when people used to look at Dubai, let's say 40 years ago, when they show comparison pictures on Instagram and things, and you see that from a nation that was there to this point, and to be able to generate a buzz that's of such a huge volume, right? And have all these people flood in, like 6,500 exhibitors. Wow. That's a crazy number to even imagine. And when you see that in person, it just shows that a nation, even for its geographical size, may not mean anything, but in terms of what they have to offer and what the public wants out of them is hands down the wildest thing I've seen in at least in this year. I'll be honest.
There were, I think, more than 180,000 visitors just to attend the event. So it was like a huge thing. And if you look at like I told you, the exhibitors who were exhibiting the stalls and everything, the way they were promoting, I think we can expect a lot more coming very soon in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's such an exciting time to be in Dubai, and if you're interested in business setup, these are the guys to talk to. Decisive Zone, thank you so much for coming back. If anyone is interested in any of the topics that we spoke about, if they want to know more, or if they have general questions for Decisive Zone, how can they get in touch?
Obviously, Google us. Like I always say, we're on Instagram at decisivezone.ae. Get in touch with Sally or myself, and we'll take care of you.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely day.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. That brings us to the end of the show. We're back here on tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.